I don't know if you guys noticed, but Butter is actually a massive diss track. Butter, biggest diss track of 2021.
Smooth like butter, like a criminal undercover.
Okay, first off, the Michael Jackson reference. So basically what I think BTS did is they said, we're going to have a massive hit in the West. We're going to have another number one. We're going to show that we've cracked the formula for how to make number one Billboard hits in the West. And we're going to do it by making a song that caters exactly to what everybody has wanted us to do, but also by putting our own spin on it so that we can be the most polite, smiling fuck you of their career. As like opposed to a cipher, which is a fuck you and then a punch in the face. So what I think they're doing here when they make these Western references, like to Michael Jackson, to Pop, the board game, Trouble, the board game, is that they're just throwing Western references at you. I was like, hey, look what we can do.
Pop like trouble, breaking into your heart like that.
The other thing I wanted to say is that I think that while this song is also kind of like being playful with ARMY in kind of the same way that Pied Piper is, but also in the like, yeah, we know you love us. We know that you're losing your shit over us. It's also like, you know how all the Western industry is trying to stop them from breaking in and people are being xenophobic to them. They're like, you can't help falling in love with us. We're that amazing.
Cool shade stunner, yeah, owe it all to my mother.
Okay, owe it all to my mother. Honestly, if you think about it, all of those times that BTS has been on interviews in the West, they've been asked things like, oh, what is your beauty routine? What is your skincare routine? Why is your skin so good? Why are you blah, 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 blah. Like, they get reduced in a way to all the things that we get genetically, like her appearance. And that's why I think that line, I owe it all to my mother, right? Because the line before that is cool shade stunner. He's saying, yeah, I'm attractive. I have great skin. I look really good. And the answer to all of that is, I got it from my mother. I was born this way. Stop asking me these things.
Shade stunner, yeah, owe it all to my mother. Hot like summer, yeah, I'm making you sweat like that. Break it down.
Okay, that line, oh, damn it.
Hot like summer, yeah, I'm making you.
This line, I think that this can be interpreted multiple ways, right? I think most of BTS's music has lyrics that can be interpreted in a multitude of ways. So for this line, I think that he's saying like, yeah, I'm hot, I'm making you sweat. But I also think you can interpret it as, yeah, I'm coming in, I'm stealing the show. I'm a smooth criminal, like I'm just sliding in and making bank off of you in the West. Like similar to how Namjoon said it in his lyric in Old Soul Road. So in this one, he's saying like, yeah, I'm making you sweat. I'm making the industry nervous because I'm coming in and I'm just doing my thing and I'm awesome. Anyway.
You sweat like that. Break it down. Ooh, when I look in the mirror, I'll let you hide into.
Okay, another line. So they get made fun of a lot, right? There's always been this criticism that, oh, they wear makeup. Oh, they're too feminine looking. Oh, they care about their appearance too much. They're not like the ruggedly masculine men we have in the West, which cough, cough, toxic masculinity and all that. But I think this is them saying like, yeah, you know what? I do look in the mirror. I do take care of my appearance. I do worry and care about my hygiene. Yeah, and because I care about all that, I'm going to melt your heart into two.
I got the superstar glow, so.
Again, they've always been told that, not told, but like it's always commented upon that they're so humble in the West, like, and because of that humbleness, they've kind of been stepped on and trod upon and dealt with a heavy hand by the Western media because they were too humble and too classy, is another way of saying it, to do anything about it. to like fight back. They leave that to ARMY. So I think here they're saying, yeah, I am a superstar. I have that superstar glow. Like, obviously the other part of the song is that they're saying like, oh, to ARMYs, like, I'm so great, blah, blah, blah. But I think that at the same time they're saying like, yeah, I'm a superstar. Suck it. This high like the moon is something that I do not think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do not think that this is a reference that is typically used in the West and by Western artists, in that if you're high, like if you're trying to reference that you're high, you would say like, oh, I'm high like the sun, high like the stars, high like a roller coaster. The idea of associating that with a moon is never what Western artists would do. But you know who would do it? Artists from fucking Korea. So this is them sneaking in a line that would make a lot more sense and be a lot more at home in a song by a Korean artist, or honestly by an Asian artist in general. And they're like, hey, we're going to put a lyric here that everyone's going to sing along. And it's not your lyric, it's our lyric. Rock With Me, Baby is another, I think, Michael Jackson reference. Also, it's just a fun line. Okay, I talked about this on Twitter. I Got That Heat is very similar to the American saying packing heat, which can mean either like, oh, I have a gun, or it can mean I have a big... You know how to finish that sentence. But yeah, so I think they're just bragging that they have a very large bulge in their pants. And this is, again, in reference to the number of times that they've been demasculated, criticized, and ridiculed in the West for their appearance, and how, oh, you're not real men, or you're not as great and as sexual as people think you are, because you are not the Western stereotypical example of what a man should look like and act like. So this is them being like, yeah, you know what? I got that heat. That could be a reference to that, in which case, yes, please show me. I will happily wait for that. But also, I think this line is in reference to all of the times that they get criticized by Western media. And they go, okay, you can say whatever you want. Talk is cheap. You can say that somebody else is better. You can say that we're shitty. But we'll prove you wrong, because we can, because we are that good. We are that talented as artists, as performers, as influencers. Like, what kind of positive impact are you having on the world in comparison to me? Your talk is fucking cheap. Okay, I wasn't really thinking much about this. Oh crap, I rewound it. Okay, this lyric. I wasn't thinking about it too much at first, but when you think about it, get it, let it roll. It seems like a kind of like a throwaway lyric, right? But what are similar sayings to that in English? Well, if someone can get it, it means they're usually very hot. And it also can be interpreted to mean like, I get money. And let it roll is also a way of saying like, oh, I'm going to spend a lot of money, or I'm going to earn a lot of money, or I'm going to party a lot. I'm going to have a good time. I don't know. So maybe this could be that. And then the other thing I wanted to point out is that they randomly throw in this image of the pancake with butter. And it's ostensibly supposed to be like, oh, it's a song about butter and maple syrup. But to be honest, this is like a quintessential American pancake. Like, this is them saying, hey, look, I'm going to throw more American references in the song, and I'm going to be very blatant about it, and you're going to like it. And you're going to, blow this song up and enjoy it. And it's going to be me, like, waving your Western trends in your face and being like, I can do this better than you. Look how much you like this. Enjoy your pancake. And granted, like, as a Western army, I like this pancake. Like, I don't think this is ridicule in any way, shape, or form towards armies. I think this is them dissing the Western industry and how basic the things that get popular here are. But yeah. Yeah, what other fucking artist is pulling in people into their fandom like BTS? No one. No one. For those who don't know, Usher had a song in the 2000s called You Got It Bad. It's a really catchy song. It's I used to play it all the time. But yeah, another Western media, like Western music reference, like throwing them in again. And also, yeah, I do got it bad for BTS, don't we all?
Ain't no other that could sweep you up like a rubber. Straight up.
Again, this whole idea of like, I'm a robber, I'm a smooth criminal. It's BTS saying, yeah, you don't want us here, we're not welcome. Well, we're still gonna come in and steal everyone's hearts, everyone's money, everyone's like attention. It's gonna be us, and we're gonna do it so smoothly that you're just gonna be like, okay, and have to accept it.
Up, I gotcha. Making you fall like that. Break it down.
This scene where he's in a press conference, I think this is included in here as kind of like a reference to what other artists have press conferences when they release songs or when they have a comeback. I don't really follow other artists, so you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is them pointing out like, hey, whenever we make music and make art, we have the media immediately clamoring for our attention and wanting to know more so that they can write pieces about us, which is thanks to ARMY and our massive readership. But yeah, so I think that's what this is a reference to.
Look in the mirror. I'm too hard to do. I got the superstar glow, so to the boogie.
All right, this inclusion of them dancing in a gym, which is like clearly a reference to a middle school or high school. You know how much criticism BTS have gotten for the fact that they look in the West, that they look young, that they look like school kids, that they get infantilized a lot because they are Korean men, and the standard of beauty for their culture is that they shave. Clearly they grow body hair, but they shave it off all the time, and they maintain this youthful appearance. And because of that, they get seen as like, oh, well, you must be like a young boy in the West, because in the West, typically, the standard of beauty for older men is you grow a beard and have facial hair and body hair and whatever. So this is BTS saying like, okay, fine. You wanna say that we're young, we're high schoolers or teenagers or whatever? Okay, fine. We'll dance in a fucking gym. And the other thing is, okay, you see how colorful they are in this? I think this is also making fun of the fact that they get criticism that, oh, you all look alike, we can't tell you apart. So this is them saying, fine, we'll make it even easier for you to tell us apart. We're all going to wear different clothes. We're going to have different hairstyles, different hair colors. Can you tell us apart now? Oh, something I missed that I forgot to mention is that during these choruses, the first time they do it, JK's the one on the front, and he kisses his ARMY tattoo. And then the every time they do a chorus after that, they kiss their ring finger in this chorus. And I think it's kind of like a reference to like, oh, we're kings, kiss our ring finger, kiss our rings. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was that tradition that, oh, you have to kiss a royal person's ring to imply fealty, loyalty, whatever. Let me rewind this just so we can enjoy that again. Yeah, that right there. Right? And he does it like, and he's like smirking at you like, kiss my ring finger. I'm the king. We are kings. Agreed. Also, they look so good here. Just so good. Oh, another thing. Again, I don't think that everything I'm saying is the only meaning or the absolute meaning. I'm just giving theories here. And I also think that a lot of what they do has like multiple meanings and means more than one thing at once. So what I think they also get criticism sometimes that, oh, everything they do is choreographed. It's all inauthentic because of that. It's all practice and it's machine perfection. So this is them being like, fine, we will have a dance break in our song where we all freestyle our own freaking dance. And it'll still be good. And it won't detract anything from our art. So that's a stupid criticism to make of us. Meanwhile, for ARMYs, it's a fucking treat that they did this because we get to see their personalities shine through. I think this is a reference to the fact that they're wealthy, so they can afford those incredibly expensive watches. Wasn't Hobie wearing a watch at some point that was like $70K, and it was more expensive than whatever they were advertising? It was either, I think it was for a Hyundai commercial. We were like, his watch is more expensive than the car. Okay, and then this line, got the right body and the right mind, I think, again, is a reference to... okay, as someone in the West, I see all this fucking Western criticism they get, and it makes me very fucking mad. So to me, I think of all of that when I listen to the song. So this line, I think about all the times that BTS have gotten criticism for how they look, and that like, oh, their figure is too feminine, they're too thin. I mean, also anywhere they get criticism for all of that. And so this is them saying, no, I have the right body and I also have the right mind. I am respectful. I'm humble. I appreciate everything that's come my way, and I'm not obnoxious about it. I think this is a reference, could be in part, to how they show up to Western award shows. And you can clearly tell that they're not like the other celebrities that you see. Like, you can feel a sense of modesty. What's the opposite of hype? Normalness. Like, you know how all these other celebrities come up to interviewers on the red carpet before the BBMAs, before the Grammys, and they're like, hi, I'm wearing this outfit from this designer. I'm so great. It's such a pleasure to be here. This is so exciting. And you can hear the fakeness. I think this is a reference to when I show up, we're normal. We're humble, we're polite, we don't brag about the clothes that we're wearing. And plus they wear, besides repping Gucci, I think they wore for the Grammys last year. They also have worn Korean designers. Like, they give back and they're there for ARMY. So everything they say, and we've seen in all their behinds how they spend so much time memorizing a simple English phrase so that they can say it on camera and connect with ARMY, and how meaningful that is. So he's like, yeah, when I show up, I have the right vibe. I don't know what the fuck everyone else is doing, but I'm doing it right. Hate us, love us. Again, you know that diss. Like, fuck you. If you hate us or love us, we're still popular, we're still amazing, we're still bigger, and like everyone is still falling in love with us. You can't fuck us over. And that also goes back, I think, to the point where every time anyone tries to throw a scandal their way, I'm thinking of the German radio host. With all the hate that he threw BTS's way, he ended up inspiring more people to become fans because they liked BTS's cover of Fix You. Namjoon's raps are a bit harder to translate or like interpret off the top of my head, but I think what he's saying here is that the real artists, the real hip-hop artists, rap artists, idols, whatever, they respond to criticism by making music. They don't just have a celebrity feud on TV. They don't respond in a blog post on their blog or Instagram or whatever. They channel their response into music, because having your diss track be played around the world and a song that people around the world sing and love to listen to is the ultimate insult that keeps on giving. And that's why I think that's the meaning of that lyric, because the next line is got ARMY right behind us when we say so, meaning that no matter how much bullshit you throw BTS's way, no matter how much stupid criticism and bullshit you throw on them, it doesn't matter, because they have ARMY behind them. We will support them no matter fucking what. And what that means is that their support, their fan base will never shrink. It will only grow. And we are very loud and very fucking annoying when we get pissed off about someone trying to disrespect our favorite 7 men. Let's go. Not yet. you'd be like, oh my God. So if you notice, there's been so many times when they've been interviewed in the West by all these stupid reporters, celebrity reporters, whatever, and they're like, oh my God, oh my God. You know what I'm talking about. And this is Hobie saying, yeah, I know you always say, oh my God. And I know that when you see this video, your response will be, oh my God. So it's negative towards them and it's positive towards ARMYs, because you know they've also joked all the time how when they have any kind of appearance with ARMYs are like, oh my God. Ah! And they mimic us when they like do the fan chat and all that. So it's nice towards ARMYs, it's mean toward everyone else.
Oh my God, we gon' make the rocket his ass. We gon' make it bounce in his ass.
You know what I am thinking of. Moving on.
Hotter, sweeter, cooler.
This line, hotter, sweeter, cooler, butter. If you think about it, it doesn't really go with butter. Like, what about butter? What does that have to do with butter? But if you think about it as all the times that BTS have been criticized, like, oh, like, they're not attractive enough, they need to be hotter. Oh, I don't understand them. They're cold and distant, they need to be sweeter. Or what was the other one? Cooler. Oh, they're nerdy. They don't speak English, so they need to be cooler. They'll be like, fine, whatever you want from us, no matter what it is, whatever the criticism is that you have of us, we'll still slide in and be popular and capture everyone's hearts and attention and money and love like butter. You literally can't deny us.
Get it, let it roll.
And this part. You see that face? That is not the face of somebody who's happy that they're eating butter. They're eating it with like, fine, if this is what you want, I will do it. And I don't know how many of you have seen this, but there was a couple weeks ago when this song was first hinted at, or the comeback was announced, someone pointed out that there was an interview with Eric Nam where he explained that in Korean, if you are trying to be more American, if somebody wants you to do something that's more westernized American, they say, can you do it more butter?
Yeah, I did an episode of Song Exploder, which is a great podcast that we broke down my song Love Die Young. And in that, I had talked about how in Korea, they say that they use the word butter. It's like 너무 버터 느낌이야 to say it's too American.
And a big part of the struggle that I had in Korea was like my pronunciation isn't perfect. And so there was we don't understand what you're saying because your pronunciation isn't great. You can't emote the way we need you to emote. So they would always like, you sound too white. You sound like butter. They always say butter as it like to be the most American thing because we always cook everything in butter.
So butter is a slang term to mean American. And that's why I think this entire song is one massive diss track. And that's why I think all the meanings that I just explained are there. And this is also why I think here, Hobie is eating that butter, being like, fine, if this is what you want, I can do it too. I find it gross and I think it's unpleasant, but I can do it too. And I can do it better than you can. I can be more butter than you. So yeah, that's it. Obviously, this is just my opinion. And obviously, I have nothing really to verify it except the fact that every time BTS has done an interview recently, since the song has come out, they've downplayed the meaning of the song. They've all been specifically like, oh, this song has no deeper meaning. It's really surface level. It's fun. It's a summer song, which is not their MO. You know what I mean? Like, usually they're a lot more like, oh, this song has more meaning. Like, think about all their other comebacks. This time, they're being very nonchalant about it. And then there are times when they've been asked in the interviews, especially like the ones that happened. Oh, whose interview was it? I think it was Zach Sang. He asked them like, oh, what does butter mean? They all started giggling. Why would you start giggling unless you know that there's a deeper meaning and that your purpose behind making the song is to kind of diss the West and their musical standards by creating a song that's so secretly insulting but basic enough that it will blow up in the West? Why would you giggle unless that's the truth? And now you're trying to figure out how to continue downplaying in interviews and not let anyone know that this is actually the true meaning. This is what I think about now every time I see interviews or read articles about them. So yeah, let me know if you guys agree, if you disagree, if you think there's more to it, if you think there's anything I missed, if you think I'm completely off the mark. I'm just one fan, and this is just my opinion. But I really like the song, and I think thinking of it as a diss track makes it even more spicy.